Hey guys, welcome back. All right, today we're gonna go ahead and do a quick lesson here on Push It. This is actually a pretty simple song to play. There's a couple of different sections. There's probably about 4 or 5 different sections. We're just gonna learn each one of those sections, and then you can stitch them together and you'll end up with the song Push It, right? So this song is actually changes modes. It's funny because we're going through the whole thing about learning modes on guitar using tool songs, right? But this song actually changes modes in the middle of the song. The song starts out in A minor, right? If you follow along with the modes classes, you know that when you have the flattened third, right, which is a minor third, well, then you're in a minor key or in a minor scale. Well, the A, right, that A note, since the way the pattern goes is, that means that the third, which is C, so that it goes C, B, A, G, A. That means it's A minor, right? Now the whole time over that, we're pedaling the open A. So you want to get this rhythm in your hands and in your head, obviously, right? So you want to get this rhythm in your hands and in your head, and the rhythm, it goes like this. Now, obviously, I'm changing the dynamics of that by palm muting, right? I'm muting and releasing the pressure so I can get those different dynamics, right? Right? So that's the first section of the song. That's the opening intro. It's literally C, B, A, G, A. The whole time you get two of those little hits of the open A right between the notes. Well, then right after this section, we're gonna go. Right? Now, those chords are derived from that exact same melody. Remember, when you're in drop D tuning, whatever's happening in the D string, in drop D tuning is also happening on the open D string. So all I gotta do to make that a chord is just lay my finger across the top 3 strings, because this is the tonic, this is the 5th. If you go through the modes classes, you'll learn exactly what I'm talking about. So if this is the tonic, this is the 5th, and that's the octave. Same thing, except now I'm not pedaling between the two, right? You want sharper hits. And actually what I'm doing here is I'm pulling to the open D. So it goes. Now, in the video, you'll see that when I play the song, I play it different than the way it's recorded, right? I'm really into this whole thing when I'm teaching people how to play songs, or teaching people whatever it is that I'm teaching them on guitar, right? Rather than getting focused and stuck on sounding exactly like the recording, man, play the way you hear it and the way you feel it. When you play it that way, it's gonna change over time. You might get closer to the recording, or you might get closer to something else that sounds pretty cool, right? But you're really gonna always play it the best when you play it the way you feel it and you hear it. Don't get too caught up in playing it exactly like the recording. Although if you want to, that's up to you. But that's not really the goal of, like, when I try to teach people how to play songs on guitar, right? I tell them instead, man, play it the way you hear it and the way you feel it, because that's really the best way it's gonna come out, right? The way I like to play that, now when we get into the verses of the song, it continues pedaling this part, But I go. So I like doing that rest that slides from the G to the A. Then I get back at the, right? I just like the way it sounds, right? You could play it that way, or you could play it where you continue pedaling this melody. Now there's also a part in the second verse where it actually does that. That's actually part of the song where it goes. Then that's the part in the video where I say, now I'm turning the sustainer on.